The believer is never under condemnation. And I do want to look at a couple verses here. Let's go to Romans chapter 8 and verse 1. If there's a verse to memorize and to hold dear to your heart, regardless of your circumstances, it would be this. Romans chapter 8 says this, verse 1. There is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Christ Jesus, who walk not after the flesh but after the Spirit. For the law of the Spirit of life in Christ Jesus hath made me free from the law of sin and death. We're free from the law that curses us. You know that word epinosis? Paul uses that in Romans 3:19 where he says the law is the full knowledge of sin. How does it make us holy? It's the full knowledge of sin. But there's no condemnation to those that are in Christ Jesus. Who are those that are in Christ Jesus? That's a phrase to go look up. In Christ Jesus. Paul's the only guy who uses that phrase. And what does it mean? It means the moment we're saved, we're placed in Christ Jesus. 2 Corinthians 2:5-21 says, He hath made him to be sin for us who knew no sin, that we might be the righteousness of Christ in him. We're in him. And that's how God sees us, in Christ. One more passage in Romans chapter 8 is towards the end of the chapter. Verse 33 we'll start with. Who shall lay anything to the charge of God's elect? In other words, who can condemn us? Who can point the finger at us? Who can have a charge against us? It's God that justifies us, so it's not God. Who is he that condemns us? It's Christ that died, yea, rather, that has risen again, who is even at the right hand of the Father, who makes intercession for us. So Christ doesn't condemn us. Verse 35, who shall separate us from the love of Christ? And the answer is nothing. We are in Christ. Nobody can lay a charge to us. There's no condemnation, no charge against us. Because we're in Christ Jesus always.